Morning peeps, good morning everyone, how's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. I've just got back. I stayed in the Fighters Hotel last night just because I was tired, people. Honestly, I was drained. Plus I looked at the traffic coming out of Wembley Stadium and I was like, fuck that. Honestly, people must have been in that traffic for hours. So I thought, you know what, let's go to the hotel, let's sleep on all the results, and then we'll do a video in the morning. And here we are. This might be a long video, people. This might not be your typical add a 10 to 12 minute video. There are loads of things to unpack, loads of things to talk about. We will do videos throughout the week, but yeah, there's quite a lot to talk about here, peeps. I don't even know where to start. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this video, but I honestly don't know where to start. Let's start by applauding the event first, right? It was a good week, a very good week, but ultimately, if Saturday doesn't deliver, then it's a shit week, isn't it? But it delivered. There was a moment where I was right at the back. I was on stage with Ariel Hawani. I can't remember when this was, but it was on stage, maybe just before AJ Dubois. And I kind of had a look, a good view of all of Wembley Stadium. And it just looked sensational. Honestly, just a sea of people on the grass, like the whole stadium full. I think Turkey's come out and said it was 98,000 in there. 98,000. So, yeah, I had a pinch me moment. I was like, the fuck am I doing here? Like, how have we got here? Like, you know, I would have been there as a fan. Like, I was there as a fan years ago. So to be there now in a working capacity was incredible. Anyway, none of you came here for that. You all came here for my take on Daniel Dubois' victory over Anthony Joshua. Let's applaud Daniel Dubois first, and let's give him all the plaudits in the world, because what we like to do is almost, because the favorite loses, we like to find fault with the favorite, right? We're like, oh, what happened with AJ? Let's give Dubois all the credit. That's what happened with AJ. Dubois steamrolled him from the very first minute, right? Put it on him. AJ's on the back foot, jabbing him away, landing big shots. And I was like, my God. Like, I was watching Dubois as he was coming to the ring, because there was a lot of talk, and, you know, I kind of got into the talk as well. There's a lot of talk about, would he freeze? This is, now we know, 98,000 people. The majority of those people in there, you know, they respect Dubois, but the majority of people in there wanted AJ to win. He was coming in as an underdog. People were talking about his mental state, his mentality. He's a fake champion. All this is going through his head. Maybe it isn't, but all this is going through my head. And I was watching him make that walk, and I was like, there's no fear in this boy at all. Honestly, there's no fear. I went backstage. I saw Don and the team. They looked super confident. And I was next to Tony Bellew. And Tony Bellew was very, very confident for AJ. And I was like, oh, no, you know. And I probably felt that because, obviously, look, I wanted AJ to win, right? I wanted AJ to win for a couple of reasons. One of the biggest reasons was because I really wanted to see the Tyson Fury fight. We'll talk about whether that fight's gone or not. But I was like, I don't know, you know, I had a look at Dubois backstage, and sometimes you can just get a feel for it. Sometimes you can. AJ did that ring walk. I'm looking at him and I'm like, okay, is he super focused there, or is he super nervous? And maybe it was a bit of both. But as soon as that first bell went and Dubois had AJ on the back foot, I was like, okay, we have a problem here. Like, this is not how it's supposed to play out at all. When he put him down, I was like, okay, this is done. Honestly, that's what was going from my head. This is done. Like, I don't know if you saw my video yesterday, and I said Dubois is like a dog on a leash, that when you kind of unleash him, you're fucked. Because he'll have a look at you, but when he starts to really charge for you, it's very, very difficult to stop. You've got to charge for him. When you let him dictate, Miller did it for a while, Hrgovic did it for a while, even kind of Usyk did it for a while. He's a bit of a problem. He's a bit of a problem because he fights like a man possessed. Honestly, but it's very good technically. It's not just wild. He's not just swinging for the fences. It's good technically. His body shots are good. He sets them up body to head. He's got a really good left hook, a sneaky left hook. He had a sneaky that there's a big overhand right that he landed on AJ as well. He looked the stronger of the two. There was times when they were clinching and he would take AJ back, and I'm like, he said he was going to do all these things, by the way. He said however, what did he say? By any means necessary. And he kind of joked about the headbutts and the elbows. He was doing it. And I was like, is AJ just going to get bullied here? Are you just allowing yourself to get bullied, or are you going to fight back? And when he did fight back in the 5th round, it was all she wrote. Like, that was his only moment of success in the whole fight. You know, he landed a couple of jabs, but they weren't real. I mean, there were more jabs to keep Daniel Dubois off than jabs to do anything or jabs to set up shots. He got confident, maybe overconfident when he landed that big right hand, AJ. It's the right hand he'd been looking for all night, the right hand that put out Helenius, the right hand that put out Ngannou. But they're not Dubois. And it's, you know, I said this a lot. I've been interviewed by a lot of people, and I know some have not been happy with my take on it, but I've always said this. Like, I'm not doing, like, you know, this Monday morning quarterback thing where you kind of, you know, dismiss performances or results. But Otto Vollen, Helenius and Ngannou, not Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois was the real acid test, because that's a fucking live dog. The others were dogs. That's a live dog. And when he hit Dubois and Dubois could take that punch and then throw his own punches back, you got a bit of a problem, because you're going to get countered. And AJ got into that pocket, was about to go for the uppercut, and bang. That was it. I've never seen AJ hurt like that, ever. Like, he got hurt and stumbled a bit against Ruiz, but not like that. Ruiz was almost a daze, like, oh, what's going on? He got hurt by Dubois on several occasions. And even when he hurt Dubois stumbled back a bit, but he never really seemed hurt or out on his feet. AJ was out on his feet several times. Honestly, several times. His hands were low, far too low for me. But this, I don't know if it was a game plan to fight on the back foot and not take the center of the ring. It could be, right? They might have, I don't know, seen something in Daniel Dubois. I say they, and Lee Wiley and Ben might have seen something in Daniel Dubois and decided, okay, you know what, we're going to try and turn AJ into a counter boxer. I don't know. But look, again, without trying to overanalyze AJ's performance, I'm just going to give credit to Daniel Dubois. I mean, Dubois looked fantastic, and I was maybe jumping the gun a bit yesterday in the ring when I said fighter of the year, but he's close. I mean, for some reason, I thought Jarrell Miller was this year. What I really meant was he was the best fighter in the last 12 months. But you get the adrenaline takes over. But even removing the Jarrell Miller win, I mean, he's gone into Hrgovic fights and Joshua fights, both as underdogs, and he's beaten them both up. Hrgovic had a plan to fight AJ. AJ looked like he had a plan to fight for the undisputed, and he just thought, fuck that. Fuck your plans. This is my plan. It's my time. Maybe it is his time. Honestly, maybe it is his time. Boxing is a young man's game. The two at the top right now are old. I mean, I wonder how long they're going to go for. And then you never know. I mean, are we in the Daniel Dubois era? And, you know, I'm not taking the piss when I make the face or smile, but who would have thought this? But there are some really good fights out there for him. Really, really good fights. I mean, Joseph Parker wants it. It's a good fight. Mike McCauley wants it. It's a good fight. Zhili Zhang wants it. It's a good fight. So he said, you know what? I'm the King Slayer. I'm going to slay the King. Said it all week. Said it hundreds of times. A few listened. A few dismissed it. I was dismissive of it. I was like, he's not going to slay AJ. He's not going to be able to take those right hands. Problem is, AJ didn't land those right hands that Hrgovic did. He didn't. Dubois' movement was too good. Dubois' feet were too fast. Did I not say this? I said Dubois has the ability to close that gap so quickly, you almost can't set your shots up. Like, that's one thing I kind of got right. His ability to close the distance on AJ was he's there. I was like, my God. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Some people say it was Ruiz-esque. It was worse than that. It was worse than Ruiz. Like, this isn't... I never felt, and this is going to sound a bit stupid, I never felt like AJ was hurt against Ruiz. I know he got put down, so probably a bit stupid. He was hurt several times by Dubois. Several times. There was a time when I think the bell went and Dubois is swinging on AJ on the ropes, and I was just like, the fuck is going on here? Like, honestly, mate, honestly, devastated by that performance. I'm not joking, I'm devastated. I respect both. Like, I've did a video on my Instagram. Do you guys follow me on my Instagram? Adeoladipo. If you're not following me, I don't understand why you're not. But I did a video saying, let's respect who and what Dubois is. Let's respect Don Charles, who I don't think is getting enough credit at all. Like, look what he's done. Like, don't get me wrong, Shane McGuigan kind of started it and Don Charles has taken that baton. But Shane McGuigan was doing it nowhere near against these elite fighters that Dubois has been fighting under Don. The Dubois under Don is for Usyk, Miller, Hrgovic, and Joshua. And he's won 3 out of 4 of those. And the one he's not lost to is a generational great who's going to go down as one of the greatest boxers of all time. And it's still up in the air whether that punch was low or not. So we've got something special on our hands with Dubois. Well done to Frank Warren as well, by the way. I mean, Frank's annihilating Eddie right now. Annihilating him. In this, forget the 5 versus 5, because there's almost been so many other little matchups they've had against each other as well. And Frank's just annihilating him. Fuck, man. I think the Fury fight's gone. I know I've seen some people saying, make the Wilder fight now. I want to see that shit. I want to see these guys, and I said this on the broadcast, I want to see them when they're at their best. And I was thinking that AJ was back to his absolute best, and, you know, if Fury came through Usyk, then it's number 1 versus number 2. I don't want to see him like this now. I mean, I don't want to see faded guys go at it. And when I mean faded, I don't mean faded as in they're done. I just mean not where they were. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I just feel sorry for AJ that he's not had the chance to fight Wilder or Fury. Like, he's not had the chance. Look, you guys heard my interview with him in the ring. He wants to continue. We'll see. We'll see if that's the case. Sometimes you got to sleep on things. And loads of things would have been going through his head yesterday. Loads. So much. Like, I can't even imagine what he's thinking right now. So he's going to have to decide whether or not, A, he wants to rematch. Because I didn't even know there was a rematch clause put in. But A, that he wants to rematch. And B, if he doesn't want the rematch, is he prepared to rebuild again? Is he prepared to do all that again? All the, the Jermaine Franklin, Helene, is he prepared to do it all again? Some might say he doesn't have to do that again. Yeah, like, true. But you need to get your confidence back after getting knocked out like that. You need to get your confidence back. You can't go in there again with a killer. I mean, or maybe you can. Maybe that's what Riyadh season's about, right? You don't get the opportunity to have warm-ups or gimmies. Maybe you go straight back in there. But, yeah. Say what you want to say about Dubois, and about this, he was given the belt, blah, blah, blah. Man, that boy legit, That boy legit. What a story. I mean, he's a quitter. He's a quitter. You know what? There's one thing, us saying it, right? Us as fight fans. But when boxers say it, I'm like, geez, man, that's a bit harsh. You're talking about your fellow boxer like that. But he was labelled a quitter against Joe Joyce. Again, a quitter against Alexander Usyk. That Alexander Usyk fight was 13 months ago. What's happened in 13 months? And also, by the way, that's 4 fights in 13 months. Let me get that right, actually. Let me just make sure I'm right on this. If I am right, again, it goes back to activity. Stay busy. Like, Joseph Parker's proven that, right? Joseph Parker, Agit Kabayel's proven that. Stay busy. Stay active. So, Alexander Usyk fight, 26th of August, 2023. 13 months. This guy has fought 4 times in 13 months. Fuck that, bro. Fight of the year. Fuck it. Fight of the year. Just because he's been active. Fight of the year. Do I think AJ continues? No, I don't. I don't think he does. The only way I think he continues is if he goes straight in against Daniel Dubois again. If he doesn't, then I'd be shocked if we see him in the ring again. I know that's brutal, but that's just the way I feel. I could be very wrong, and I would like to be very wrong, because I would like to see him in the ring again, because I think he just made so many mistakes last night. So many. Like schoolboy mistakes. I don't know why. It's like the moment got to him. Like all week we've been talking about the moment getting to Dubois. It's like the moment got to AJ. It felt like that anyway. So yeah, disappointed. But this is boxing. This is heavyweight boxing. Anything can happen and anything will happen. I think we've all seen that in the last 12 months in the heavyweight division has been insane. Honestly, it's been insane. And that's all down to Riyadh season, because the insanity has all been within Riyadh season. Like nothing's been on the outskirts. No. All the fights, when the best fight the best, you are going to get some fucking crazy results. And we've had some insane results. Like the heavyweight division has been turned on its fucking head in the last 12 months. Boy, oh boy. All right, let's have a quick look at the rest of the card. Let's fly through that. Again, guys, we will do videos throughout the week. Trust me. I'm not done on talking about AJ and Dubois. I'm not, but I do appreciate that there was another fight card last night as well. I mean, other fights, apologies, last night as well. Let's, the night started with a mad one, didn't it? To be honest with you, Mark Chamberlain getting beat and getting put down by Josh Padley. That's when you knew something was in the air. Because Mark Chamberlain was supposed to run through him. I was going to get in the ring and talk about Denis Berinčić. I was like, okay, Denis Berinčić is up next, because that's what's been talked about behind the scenes. And all of a sudden, Josh Padley was like, nope. And got the job done. And by the way, Mark Chamberlain, he benefited, or would have benefited, I thought, from a heavier weight. But no, Josh Padley, congratulations. That hopefully changed his life. I mean, this guy, unlike every other fighter on this list, he works. He's a part-time boxer who decided for this camp to train like a full-time boxer. He's never had a nutritionist, never had one of those, by the way. I don't think he's had a strength and conditioner coach apart from his team. He got a proper strength and conditioner coach on board, someone to do his nutrition. Look at the results. Well done to him. And then with it, Josh Kelly, Ishmael Davis. That looked like it was going to be routine. By the way, I don't agree with the scorecards either. I don't agree. The scores were too close. I think Josh won that by a few rounds. But that looked like up until round 11, relatively routine win for Josh. I felt like Ishmael was going head hunting rather than body hunting. Josh's head moves so much, you ain't getting to that head. But the body, you can kind of slow down a little bit. Hit the chest, hit the elbows, hit the hands, hit anywhere. He did that, slowed Josh down, and then bang. Honestly, one more round in that fight, and Ishmael could have had the biggest night of his life. It was the biggest night. He'll be back. I think he's going to be fighting on the Fury Usyk card. So well done to him. Good luck to him. Josh, I don't know, man. The thing about Josh, yeah, as much as he got the victory, and look, that's the most important thing, I just wanted a bit more. And yeah, this is a Riyadh season card. Turkey sitting right there watching you. Come on, do something. Do a bit more. I can't remember. I think I asked him about the weight, if he's going to go down. I can't remember what he said, but I think back to 154 is best for him. Anthony Kakache versus Josh Warrington. Kakache just too big. I think Warrington started the fight well. And it was kind of even Stevens, I think, after 4. But then Kakache just went and started to land, started to close the distance. Warrington couldn't get his shots off. And Warrington did fire back. Every time Kakache landed something big, Warrington would fire back. But it's Kakache's punches that you would remember. I went and saw Warrington in the. I didn't see the moment because I was backstage already. I didn't see the moment when he put his gloves on the canvas. So when I went backstage, I was like, "What's next?" And he's kind of like, I think Father Time might have caught up with me. He needs to assess. And I was like, "Look, Kakache's a fucking beast. Getting beaten by him isn't a problem. The problem for Warrington, I think, is that's now 5 defeats in your last 6. Is that? Wait, let me double check that. I believe that. Sorry, 1 win in your last 6. I believe it is. Let's see. Yeah, 1 win in your last 6, and that win was Kiko Martinez. It's sort of sandwiched in Mauricio Lara defeat, then that Mauricio Lara technical draw because of the head clash, then the Kiko Martinez win, then Luis Alberto loss, Lee Wood loss, Kakache loss. I mean, no shame in those names, Kakache, Lee Wood, Luis Alberto, Mauricio Lara. There's no shame in that, but it's like, man, he doesn't want to just enter the ring as an opponent for someone. He wants to go in there headlining big fights, main event, and that might be over. That might be over. Probably is over. All right, then on to what? Oh my God, I'm sorry. This is a fucking disgrace. I forgot about this, by the way. Boatsi Willie Hutchinson. That scorecard, who was it? Who did that scorecard? Gregors Melenda, who scored it to Willie Hutchinson 112-113. I'm sorry, what? Are you out of your mind? With 2 knockdowns. Are you out of your mind? That needs to be investigated. That's a disgrace. Howard Foster had it 115-110. Salvador Salva had it 117-108. And this Melenda kid had it 112-113. How are you both watching the same fight and have seen it completely different? But he needs to explain that. Because I kind of like, have I missed something here? Because, sometimes I wasn't scoring. I didn't have a pen and paper in my hand, but you're watching and think, what the fuck's going on here? Then you hear that and you think, are they trying to give this to Willie? Crazy. Honestly, crazy. Don't get me wrong, Willie had some good work in there. Honestly, he landed some really, really big shots. And Joshua's ability to absorb punishment is insane, by the way. But Boatsi won that fight. He won that fight. I mean, what are we doing? It's crazy. I mean, so Hutchinson down twice and deducted a point. Hutchinson down twice, deducted a point. This fucking corrupt judge still gave it to Willie. Criminal. And we'll end on this one. Hamza Shiraz destroying Tyler Denny. I think Hamza's the best middleweight in the world. Like, I know Carlos Adames and Alan Canali, who was offered the fight, by the way, are there, and Lara potentially. But I think he'll destroy Lara. Carlos Adames and Adam Canali are big problems because they're just very, very good. But I think he's got all the ability to destroy them as well. There's something about him, his range, his confidence, his mindset, skill set. I love the fact that he said, you know what, this ain't it for me over here. I'm going to take myself to LA and train over there. By the way, he sparred Alan Canali quite a lot. Just saying, I don't know if that's a reason Mr. Alan Canali decided to take less money to have a more riskier fight, some might say, in Australia, than fight Hamza on this card. I don't know. But I like the way he's taking himself to LA, based himself there, getting really good sparring. Then he comes back here and he's a killer. All right, guys, girls, my voice is going. I need to rest a little bit, get some coffee in me, think about what's happened to my man AJ, and make more videos throughout the week. Peace.